The Sox and Royals play Game 2 in Kansas City tonight. The weather will cooperate, and Ranger Suarez hopes the Royals will too, as the Red Sox look to make it 2 for 2 here at Kauffman Stadium. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Dave O'Brien alongside Lou Merloni and also Jemai Webster in a couple of moments. Very tidy win for the Red Sox last night. Well pitched, Lou, 3-1. And when the game could have gone either way, Chad Tracy goes to Justin Slayton.
This is how you're going to win ball games, right? Low-scoring games, and when you're leading late, you got to lock it down. You feel good about the 8th and 9th. This is where this man comes into play. You saw it last night. He comes in man on second base, up 2. He gets a quick inning. Look at the numbers in the year. Hasn't given up an earned run. Inherited runners, he stranded a couple of them already. He is the key to this bullpen to get it to the 2 guys at the back end of that bullpen right now.
Our Blue Moon bright spot. Game 2 coming your way next. Before that, Jemai takes us on a trip to view some artwork of a Kansas City legend. He was the great Buck O'Neil, who passed away at 94, but left a remarkable legacy and was renowned for his love of the game. Baseball on NESN is brought to you by Audi. Visit your New England area Audi dealer today. W. Mason, get free next day business delivery from your local hometown team. By State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Sullivan Tire, official tire and auto service of the Red Sox. And by buyatoyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit buyatoyota.com. And many years ago, when Ken Burns had his legendary baseball documentary series on PBS, Jemai, the star of that show, other than the game itself, was unbelievably, it was Buck O'Neil, without question.
No question about that, Dave. And people might be surprised, but Kansas City has a rich sports and cultural history. And at the intersection of that is John David Buck O'Neil, as you mentioned, from his days with the Negro Leagues, Kansas City Monarchs, to the legacy that has him a dedicated seat inside this ballpark. I had a chance to visit his mural today that was resurrected almost a year to the date and visit with the very artist responsible, Phil Syke Schaefer.
So my name is Philip Schaefer, aka Syke Style. What inspired me the most was the legacy of Buck O'Neil, and so having that opportunity to take the bridge of his namesake and give it, a visual presence, I couldn't pass up on the opportunity. There's several parts of the mural that I think make great photo ops, but also great thinking moments. I love the area down at the end of the bridge that says we're all monarchs. Of course, the portrait behind us, people who remember Buck O'Neil and how he used to either come to their school and give presentations, or maybe they heard him speak or saw him at the K. And lastly, the quote that he uses a lot: "The greatest thing in all my life is loving you." People have come by the wall and they're like, "Oh, I remember that song. Thanks for remembering it." I think it's a great way to show that the arts, sports, and business and civic projects all come together. To be able to talk about someone as famous as Buck O'Neil, known worldwide, but also understanding that the birthplace is here in Kansas City, highlighting his legacy, which is the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. And so really this mural serves as like an arrow to point people to the museum, and it's just another part of that story. So I think that's awesome.
And there is the aforementioned special seat. On his plaque in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, the first words you'll read are character, integrity, and dignity. It defined his baseball life and life outside the game. It's what makes this place very special. Ranger Suarez has a chance to add his performance to the history of Kansas City, at least for one night here in Game 2. Obi and Lou on the call with more from the K when we come back.
Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com today. Plymouth Rock Auto and Home Insurance for Boston sports fans. And by Subaru of New England. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Lou, this was a terrific moment.
Yeah, pretty cool moment here. Chad Epperson, third base coach here at the Red Sox. His son, Drew, worked for the Kansas City Royals. He works in the back, right in the scouting department, where they dressed him up here to exchange lineup cards. Surprised to Chad Epperson to have his son meet him out there at home plate. So pretty nice, pretty cool moment here for everybody.
It can be a very touching game, and when it has nothing to do with wins and losses, home runs, ERA. It comes down to this. It's just a father and a son at home plate. The umpires were caught up in it too. Epi was pretty emotional there, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool moment. His son, like, he's been here for a few years now, and they're able to come here to Kansas City and spend some time after games, before games. The funny part is that Drew's part of the scouting department, so one of his jobs was to scout his father and to see if he's given any tips when it comes to signs. That was one of the roles he has. So he's been studying his own dad here pregame, and a great moment here pregame.
Red Sox lineup tonight brought to you by Plymouth Rock. It'll be Duran, Rafaela, Abreu 1, 2, 3. Then Contreras hit a bomb last night. Monasterio back in there as the DH. Sogard at second. Narvaez is doing the catching. 4 out of 11 in his career and a home run against Kansas City. Kiner Falefa at short and Durbin at third.
Royal starting pitchers presented by W.B. Mason. 29-year-old Bailey Falter making his first start of the year, his 4th appearance. Came off the IL here recently, but that ERA is shot up there. You see that fastball, 93 range or so with the 4-seam, the slider, and a split for the most part. The Royals defensively going to have Michael Garcia back at third base with Witt Jr. and Lofton up the middle. Vinny Pasquantino at first. The outfield left to right tonight will be Marte, Thomas, and Caglione, with Carter Jensen doing the catching.
Umpires for tonight's game presented by M&T Bank. James Jean behind home plate. Eric Backus at first. Malachi Moore at second. Laz Diaz is at third. We're available to telecast, can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP is brought to you by Toyota Certified Used Vehicles. Weather forecast much improved from yesterday. Doesn't look it because it's overcast here, and it is considerably cooler at 61, but we have no rain in the forecast. Tomorrow's supposed to be really, really nice, up around 68, 69, and sunny for the finale. Red Sox hope by then they're playing for a sweep. 2-2 on the trip after the 3-1 victory last night, and facing the left-hander Bailey Falter out of their bullpen. And the first one on the way to Jarren Duran. We are underway on ball 1.
Well, Bubic, the lefty, was supposed to pitch today. He went on the IL, so they're going to go here with Falter. We don't know how long he'll go. His only appearance last time he went out, 2 innings. Went through 28 pitches, so maybe 2-3 innings. Try to get out of him one time through.
Rafaela on deck. Sonny Gray with a terrific performance last night. He's now 5-1. Aroldis Chapman moving into the top 10 by himself on the all-time saves list at 378. Not to mention 26 in a row for the big fella.
And Chad Tracy went with that kind of lefty lineup, right? Falter's in there. You don't know how long. Now they got some lefties maybe behind it, but lefties are 6 for 9 off of this guy.
The 3-0. And walks him on 4 straight. So Duran with 9 stolen bases quickly aboard here. Falter's a guy who's really been hit hard in a few bullpen appearances. A .423 batting average against in 11 innings of work.
Yeah. He missed 6 weeks with elbow inflammation. And like I said, just came back with a 2-inning outing out of that bullpen on Saturday. I mean, you love to just jump on him. You know, I felt like that 2-run homer by Wilson, that's what you've been waiting for all weekend, right? Won a couple of games, but if you can get a couple early, because after that 2-run shot, you saw the contact was different. The bats were different. Guys loosened up a little bit once you scored a couple.
Big time. Right now, Falter just trying to throw a strike, and finally does. Cedon hitting .284, 4 home runs. Entered last night's game as a defensive replacement in the 9th inning. Chad wanted to give him most of the evening off and was able to do that. 1-1, dropping down a bunt out in front of home plate. Jensen will fire on to first.
It's foul balls off his body.
Call it a foul ball.
Again, good idea. I don't mind it at all. Kind of early in this game. A couple guys in Abreu and Contreras on deck, just kind of try to make something happen. Just doesn't get it out far enough. See how kind of deep he catches it? And because he makes contact deep, now the body comes and kind of runs into that baseball. Get that bat out a little bit more, get it down third.
Okay, there as long as he has a foot in the box. And Duran with the lead against the lefty, not running. And a weave and a miss, so he goes down swinging. Cedon strikes out, 1 gone. And Willier will dig in. 291, 6 home runs. Hit a bit of a snag here very recently, 0 for his last 9.
I actually think this facing a lefty today might help him a little bit.
Runner goes. A strike and no throw by Jensen. And a stolen base by Duran, his 10th.
Nice job by Duran to kind of get in scoring position, but he gets a nice jump. Lefty first move. Jansen doesn't get the grip. No chance at that point. But Abreu just facing a lefty. Keep him in there a little bit. It's been a little quick. Pull side. Stay in there, lefty. Think left center.
Served up the middle and a diving play by Lofton. He's going to hold on to the baseball. Duran does not go far from third. But Abreu picks up a base hit. Lofton at second made sure it didn't get into the outfield. That prevented a run, but first and third with one away.
That was a little excuse me swing, right? Almost like check swing. He didn't really go after it, but it was placed well. Give Lofton credit for knocking this thing down. Duran scoring easily if he doesn't get it. So for the moment, it saves them a run.
And sends up Contreras, hitting out of the 4th spot. 253, 10 home runs. Last night a 2-run shot in the 6th inning to put the Red Sox ahead. His second big home run on the trip. 1 man away and in for strike.
Again, the Red Sox have scored 9 first-inning runs, 47 games in. That's last in all of baseball. Nice little change of pace to actually put a run or 2 up here in the first.
Wouldn't it be? And the 0-1 pitch to Wilson will not be made. Back into Abreu. Red Sox, when they do score first, are 16-7. That happened last night. Took a while.
Loosened everybody up. Thank God. Yeah, he needed that 2-run shot. That's how you won the last couple of games from him. After that, people looked a little looser, swung a little better.
Falter with the 0-1. And a little looper into left field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Here comes Duran. He will touch home plate. And the Red Sox, a rare first inning run. Duran led off with a walk, stole the base, and Contreras with his 28th RBI.
It's good to see. Just get something on the board early. We were joking yesterday about Contreras' 2-run shot. Felt like a 7-run homer.
Yeah.
You put 1 on the board here in the first. I feel like we just put up a 4 or 5 spot. But he gets enough of this. It's good. A pitch he can handle, right? Strikeouts the one thing that'll kill you in this spot. Gets enough of it, gets him on the board.
Abreu into second. 2 on from Monasterio, swinging a pretty good bat as of late. 256 overall with a home run. Going after the first one. Here's Witt with it. Flips for 1 on the first 2. So double play after the Red Sox score first. It is 1-0 Boston going to the bottom of the first. Up 1-0, and the Royals lineup presented by Xfinity. Garcia starts it, and then Witt Jr. hitting .302 with 7 home runs. Lane Thomas in center field tonight. .364 against Ranger in his career. Ranger Suarez 2-2. .244 ERA. And Garcia steps in. .262 with some power. He's hit 7.
Rangers been absolutely fantastic. Starting pitcher brought to you by BuyAToyota.com. You see the numbers at .244 ERA. His last 6 have been fantastic. Look at the whip under 1. In his last 6 games now, he's 2-1 with a 1 ERA. Check out his arsenal. He's going to run that sinker, and he finishes a lot of guys off with 30%. 91. Good cutter, changeup, 4-seamer, curveball to keep everybody honest.
He is not allowed to run his last 19 innings. It is 2-1. That's a strike.
Works quick, works the edges.
Kansas City, a chilly team. They have lost 7 out of 8. They've only scored 24 runs over that span. 3-2. And their best player, one of the great players in the game, on deck in Witt Jr. 3-2. Got a piece of it to hang in there.
As I mentioned, his last 6 outings, 4 of them have been scoreless. Yankees touched him. 4 2/3, gave up 4 runs. The big 3-run home run. Remember, Rosario got him. They touched him up a little bit, but 5 scoreless. Other than that, it's been an impressive run.
3-2 again, served a third, and Durbin will fire on to get him 1 away.
Check out the Red Sox defense, brought to you by Car Shield. Caleb Durbin back at third base. IKF and Sogard are going to be up the middle with Wilson Contreras at first. The outfield left to right. Duran, Rafaela back in there with Wilyer Abreu. Carlos Narvaez doing the catching.
Bobby Witt Jr. 302 with 7 home runs. Sits safely in 10 out of 11. He has led the major leagues in hits the last 2 years. Won the Gold Glove at short the last 2 years. Looks at a strike. 1-1. The Sox rotation has posted a .267 ERA since May 3rd. Only Tampa Bay has been better. The Sox 8-8 for the month, and fouled out of play 1-2.
Yeah, that's where the frustration comes in a little bit, right? 8-8 month. Your ERA is where it is for starters. They win last night, 3-1. They score 3 runs. When they score 3 runs or more, they're 18-8. Like 3 is a magic number. Most years it's usually 4, but this year just need 3.
Just 3. It's like 3 measly little runs. Because you're getting tremendous pitching, generally speaking.
Well, the crazy part about that stat is you played 47 games, which means in 21 of your 47, you've scored 2 or fewer. Hopefully we can get this offense going a little bit.
2-2 to Witt Jr. Hitting the hole for a base hit. And lefty or righty, you got to watch him on the bases because he has 14 steals.
Yeah, takes this little cutter in. Doesn't try to do too much. 300 hitter, uses the whole field. Just kind of drives this, sees that hole over there, and once he gets on base, he'll take his singles, takes what he gives you. Pitcher gives him because he knows he can be on second base here at any pitch.
Salvador Perez, the DH tonight, has hit 7 home runs, but only batting .201. Batting stats presented by your local Honda dealers. Red Sox 1, Royals nothing. And he's going to challenge that pitch.
This is called a strike when the batter's down.
An early challenge. He's always good behind the plate judging these. Good as a hitter.
Pitches the ball. Kansas City has 2 challenges remaining.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Remember the first couple starts when Suarez gave up 4? There was a concern about that right there.
Yeah.
Will he be effective with the ABS? He's usually getting that pitch. I think he's answered some of those questions.
Yeah, like all of them. 2-1. James Jean, home plate umpire. He's got some pipes on. It's a serious presentation. Witt taken off. Here's the throw down, the tag, and they're not going to get him. And that's number 15 for Witt. And himself a great jump. On the count 3-1.
He's a tough guy to throw out. Especially a breaking ball down and in. Gets that jump on a lefty. Got to be quick to the plate to get him.
And Perez will take ball 4. Kept that away from him. So first and second. Lane Thomas will be the hitter.
Got a little off here in the first inning. Ran Garcia at 3-2 count. Made him work. A walk to Perez. Got to get it back in here. See if he can get this little ground ball double play and get out.
Thomas at 198 with 1 home run. And we'll lift that one down the right field line. He'll pop that one right up into the tarp. So strike 1 on Thomas. Just 1 for his last 20. So with a couple of base runners, this might be exactly the guy the Ranger wants to see in their lineup at the moment. Although you see he has numbers against him. And the 0-1 will miss. Ranger has allowed only 3 home runs. And before tonight, just 31 hits and 44 in the third. Line into right field. That is going to drop down for a hit. Here comes the runner. Witt Jr. will score. The throw into second, and it's bobbled. So everybody's going to be safe. Perez down to third. And Thomas with a base hit for his 9th RBI has quickly tied the game 1-1.
Just fights this ball off. Looks like maybe another cutter in. Same pitch that Witt hit over there as well. Brave had a chance on second base. He kind of throws this ball into the ground. Still think he had a chance. IKF unable to come up with this pick. You got that second out right there.
Caglione will take a pitch inside at the elbow. A .254 hitter with 5 home runs. And ripped a couple of doubles last night. So Ranger in some early trouble. Falling behind again.
Everything just a little off. A little bit off. Little sinkers, change-ups, kind of just off the plate. One that Salvi did a nice job actually challenging. Salvi just trying to calm down a little bit. Just dial him in, bring him in a little bit. These two still talking. Some long conversations last night. Not much speed at third base. Shallow fly ball. Even Sogard playing back, Contreras playing back a little bit, kind of in between. Still challenge Salvi if he take off. The ball's hit hard to him.
Only one away, the 2-0. And ball 3. There's no question he is not himself tonight. Not yet anyway. 2 hits and a walk in the inning. And now the 3-0 pitch. Lets that one go for a strike. Caglione, second year man, good power. 6'5", 250. He can hit it a long way in the 3-1 from Ranger. All filled up 3-2.
Good sinker in the bottom of the zone, located. He gets a ton of swing and miss on that sinker.
Salvi Perez at third, Lane Thomas at second. And a chopper foul. .26 pitches for Ranger. Trying to put away the lefty slugger. And a ground ball knocked down by the first baseman Contreras. Foot race at first got him. With Salvador holding at third. That'll be out number 2.
See if they want to take a peek at this. You saw, like we're talking about Salvi's speed at third. They didn't want to take a look at it. They needed to see this ball get through, because even though he's playing back, if there was a play, he still would have got him at the plate, but he bobbles it. Does he get there in time?
Kansas City's challenging the out call at first base.
It's
a dead heat.
Looks like Caglione hit the front of the bag, whereas Ranger hit the middle of the bag. I think they're going to reverse this one.
So they take a look at New York. This play is under review.
So bare hand grab by Ranger.
Yeah.
So like I said, that foot didn't get down quick enough from Ranger. I don't believe he hit the middle of the bag, whereas Caglione hit the front of it. Yep.
Crowd reacting here at Kauffman Stadium.
It'll be bases loaded. But he doesn't score that run. He got an opportunity here to still get this ground ball double play.
Well, still waiting on the official word from New York on the challenge by Kansas City. And if it is reversed, the bases are going to be all loaded up for Starling Marte. And let's see if they have an answer.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, we just saw that play, right? I mean, how many replays, how many times do you need to see it? Yeah, it looks like the front foot's hitting the front of the bag. As Rangers' kind of heel is still up, going for that middle of the bag.
After review, the call stands. The run is out.
Wow.
Kansas City loses this challenge.
Okay.
Or not. Wow. Okay.
So Caglione is out 3-1. Second and third for Marte.
I mean, you'll take it, but am I seeing something different?
Take it and run is what
Yeah.
you do.
All right.
Marte 295, no home runs. Chance to get out of this with only one run.
They're out of challenges now in the first. Wow.
2 gone, and he looks at a strike.
They got to get back to the strike zone now. All right, this next hit's a big one. With 2 outs, keep it right where it is. Get back on those edges, execute.
Wrapped toward third, but a foul ball. The Royals have had a lot of the same problems the Sox have had scoring runs. Their last 8 games, they're hitting 182 with men in scoring position.
Yeah.
Going to play tonight.
Well, the Red Sox kind of like hold my beer because we're 6 for 62. 97 batting average.
2 downstairs.
Both teams kind of really struggling.
Would not chase it. 2-2. Boy, it's been a long inning for him.
31 pitches. Deep in counts.
From the set, the left-hander with a 2-2. Grounded to short. Connor Falefa with the dig. And retires the side. They're going to strand runners at second and third. 1-1 after 1. Second inning. And the famous fountains here at Kauffman Stadium. Played umpire James Jean jumping out immediately. Ball attendant was active down the left field line. Need him to sit down. Nick Sogard to lead it off. 286. Without a home run. He's got a little 4-game hitting streak going back to last year. Check out tonight's home run odds presented by FanDuel. Sogard, Narvaez, Connor Falefa. It's the left-hander Bailey Falter. Red Sox struck for a run in the first. Royals came right back with a run of their own.
Last year did a nice job against lefties. 371 was 13 for 35. Remember, started both those games in the playoffs against the Yankees. Had those lefties in that lineup.
Playing second best base tonight. He will take one in there for strike.
Good hitter from the right side. I think his power. Hit 5 home runs from the left side down in AAA. None from the right.
Hard hit at the shortstop. The Gold Glover has it. Which showing off that arm too. Number 1 as we toss it down to Jemai.
Well, Obi, it's nice to see Carlos Narvaez back in there after the middle finger pain, but what a joy it was for me this afternoon to sit down with him a little more than 10 minutes with the future Hall of Famer Salvador Perez, both from Venezuela. Narvi called him his idol. Salvi told me he hopes that Narvaez has a better career than he's had. And there's a lot of mutual respect that was being shared in that room this afternoon, but the biggest thing that I walked away with was how Perez showed me that despite him being in his 15th, 16th year in the big leagues, he's been able to actually learn something from Narvaez. The two of them, along with Aroldis Chapman, worked together this offseason. He said Narvi helped him improve his framing And he joked that it helped him last night behind the dish in those lengthy conversations with Laz Diaz and those subsequent challenges, of course. But I hope folks get an opportunity to check out the full interview. It was absolutely fantastic.
I look forward to that. Salvi Perez, 36 years old. Yeah, that was interesting. The constant conversation there with Laz, who was working home plate. That lasted a couple innings.
I actually ran into Laz before the game. I was asking him about that. He said, Salvi, they said they were strikes. I said, they're not strikes. I think these umpires don't like the fact that ABS is measured in the middle of the plate. I think they're more accustomed to as it's crossing the plate.
2-1 hammered foul.
Just gives it a different look, but vertical up and down, I think, is the biggest challenge for some of these umpires of this ABS system.
Salvador, 36 years old. He is 7 home runs shy of matching the Hall of Famer George Brett for #1 in Royals history. And it looks like he's going to join Brett one day in Cooperstown with the season, the career that he has had. George, great player. Been the face of the Royals, was for many years, and it's been Salvador here in recent years, including World Series. 3-2 fouled back to the netting. Kiner Falefa on deck. So this was after a couple of challenges last night, the umpire and the catcher.
I was looking, you want to challenge that one? But he challenged a couple and got him right.
3-2. Looked like he held it. He did. And it'll be ball 4. So Narvaez aboard, second walk issued by the left-hander Falter. Red Sox have another base runner. Already 4 in the game in the first 2 innings for Boston.
Yeah, a couple of walks too. It's something their team really hasn't been doing. Didn't do much of it at all out in Atlanta. I guess game 1 they got 3 or 4, but after that, they're taking that free pass.
Kiner Falefa, 214 without a home run, playing shortstop tonight. Trevor Story still searching for additional opinions about his sports hernia, and he's back home, but whether or not he should undergo surgery. Line drive, a diving play by Witt, can't get to it. Kiner Falefa with a base hit. Narvaez advances to second, and the Red Sox have a couple more base runners.
Nice job, a little heater up and in. He gets inside of it. Line drive just out of the way of Witt. Yeah, I guess Story's back home. Tracy, before the game, I thought something about looking for like a third opinion. I don't know if it would split. You know, one guy says you're good, the other guy says maybe surgery, so now we're going 3.
I think that's it.
You play best out of 5 if you don't get the right answer. Right?
Get the answer you're looking for.
We'll go surgery. I'm going to go 1 more.
Yeah.
It's either 3 and 1 or 2 and 2. I need a 5th.
Right. I certainly wish Trevor the very best of success finding the right answer there. Meanwhile, Caleb Durbin in the box, first and second, and into center field. That'll drop for a base hit. Narvaez into third. He's going to be waved in. It's dropped by Thomas. The run will score. Kiner Falefa down to third. Caleb Durbin with a base hit. Red Sox in front 2-1.
Oh, that had to feel good. Couple days off for Caleb Durbin to kind of get in the cage, work on some things. One of the big things, I was actually talking the other day, is what he wants to do is stay in the middle of the field. Now, this isn't a righty dropping a sinker in on him, which is something he's been working on. But he's able to stay back on this breaking ball and stay to the middle of the field. You know, if you try to pull this ball, this is another ground ball to the left side. Looked like Epperson was sending Narvaez the entire way, which would have been interesting if he kind of comes up with this. Sox get a run.
1 down, first and third for Duran, who walked and scored in the first inning. So both of the men that Falter has walked have come on in to score. Sox already have 4 hits.
It's a big at bat here, right? 1 out. Put this ball in play like he did last time. Big part of the field. He had a fly ball to left last night for a sac fly.
That drove in a run. Red Sox needed them all. 2 on, 1 out, 2-1 Sox here in the second inning. Cedar Rafaela would be next. And the left-hander falling behind 2-0. Falter broke in with the Phillies in 21. A year later, he started Game 4 of the National League Championship Series for the Phillies against San Diego. Failed to get out of the first inning, gave up 4 runs. Machado got him for a home run. Toss over, getting back in, Caleb Durbin. Red Sox trying to put together a big inning. And a 2-1 pitch to Jarren Duran. Durbin takes off. That's fouled out of play. Red Sox want to do some running tonight. Duran already with a theft, and Durbin was taken off.
The one thing that always connects when you have a lead. You know, when you get a lead, you're up 1, you're up 2, you kind of get more aggressive. You're just thrown over there. They got something on him. They know when he's delivering to the plate. Try to stay out of a double play situation, but with 2 strikes here, this is where contact is essential.
Falter with a 2-2 and fills up the count. Red Sox have been patient with this guy. And if he walks Duran, the bases are going to be loaded. Payoff pitch. And he does. Second time for Jarren tonight. And they're all filled up for Cedar Rafaela. And Brian Sweeney, their pitching coach, will trot out to the hill.
That's good at bat. Can't have that strikeout there in that spot. Now you got Cedar. Remember that bunt for a hit, and then he swung at that breaking ball down and really didn't get a look at him in that first at bat because of that bunt and that swing. To get back to what's really been impressive from Cedar, kind of picking your spots, looking your zone, swinging less. When you get a pitch, do some damage with it.
James Jean out there to break it up. And so now Cedar Rafaela can do some damage. He struck out in the first inning. 3-game hitting streak. For his last 11 games with an at bat, he has 9 RBIs. Moved up into the 2-hole tonight. A man at every base. Only 1 away. Downstairs for ball 1, the block by Jensen.
Boy. After a visit, just spike it down to the ground. Really got to be patient here. Look for your spot.
Kiner Falefa at third, Durbin at second, Duran at first. The lefty deals. A strike. Four-seamer, 92. Abreu on deck. Golden chance here.
Curveball again. That's what got him the first time. Gotta do a job now. Stay in the middle of the field.
Red Sox at every base here in the second inning. Cedar swings and misses. He strikes out. Went right back to that curveball to fan him for the second time. And 2 down.
Just not seeing him well at all here. First at bat. Chased one of these breaking balls down. This one is almost non-competitive. Still got the swing from it.
Now runners in scoring position, 2 out. Abreu's batting .304 with a .951 OPS. Boy, he tried to hit that a country mile. He has an RBI single tonight.
Well, you mentioned how this Royals team is kind of where you are offensively, right? You put a double in the gap right now, you score 2 or 3, you go up 4. If it was against the Red Sox, how would you feel? That's where they are right now. Big at bat that can separate this game.
0-1. High fly ball into left field, but a routine play from Marte. Red Sox will load him up and leave him loaded after getting the 1 run. It is 2-1. City Red Sox with a 2-1 lead on the Royals. Alex Spear, the Boston Globe, delighted to have him in the booth with us. It'll be a regular occurrence throughout the season. Always enjoy so much reading your observations on baseball and your great articles. The Red Sox just did right there with the bases loaded what they've been doing all season long. And I know you love good baseball, you love offense and scoring runs. It has been very tough to watch.
It's pretty staggering the infrequency with which they're able to really stack together a rally, have multiple run scoring hits over the course of the same inning. So you're seeing this kind of pop gun offense that's been limited to 3 runs or fewer in 9 straight games, which is getting into historic territory when you're talking about a streak that hasn't been seen by the Red Sox since 2012.
Yeah.
It's pretty unusual. It's been basically Wilson Contreras with a big hit or not so many big hits recently.
Now, I know Roman Anthony is down, but even when he was here, this offense wasn't clicking, and you're sort of like, well, this is the group. You know, this isn't Springer's on his way back, or we saw Toronto had missing some guys. So it has to come from within, right? Yeah. And they're still confident that this group there's more there.
Absolutely, there's certainly more there. You wouldn't expect them to score 3 runs or fewer every game of the season.
Lofton with a shot to left field and a catch. Duran leaving his feet, went sprawling for it and comes up with it to rob Lofton of a base hit. And that looked like for all the world it was going to drop in.
Yeah, Lofton kind of looking at the dugout and doesn't realize they're out of their challenges, right? So Duran closing speed here made a beautiful catch out and left. And with all the struggles last year of trying to adjust to left field, this year he looks a lot more comfortable covering some ground.
Yeah, certainly. You know, obviously he worked really hard with Kyle Hudson over the course of many years. He competed for a Gold Glove in center field a couple of years ago. Last year he moved back to left field, and it did seem like there was a transition back to that as his primary position. But you're right, this year it's been pretty steady out there, and that's part of why the Red Sox, by most metrics, have had the best defense in baseball.
They have. We mentioned it on several occasions. Sometimes a little tentatively, because the Red Sox might be down 4-1 and no seeming hope of coming back in that particular game. But then somebody or a couple of guys make great defensive plays.
Sunday's game notwithstanding, they've been in so many games, right? Like the pitching and the defense has put them in a position to have these games being competitive. And I think that that's, for a lot of people watching the Red Sox, why there's been so much frustration, because these haven't been games where they've been rolled. They've been games in which they've had a shot, but the bats haven't been able to deliver any of the critical hits in order to be able to turn the score around, save again for Wilson Contreras in 2 of the last 3 games.
So we keep, showing you that graphic. Defensive runs saved, outfield assists, outs above average. Popped up into left field, going to wind up being a very fast inning for Suarez. They go 1, 2, 3, but you'll be back.
Yes, I will.
In just a moment, right after the break. 2-1 Boston. Red Sox with a 2-1 lead, and Luinder Avila, the new pitcher for Kansas City, as Alex Spear is back and joining us here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Alex, the reason why I asked you about the in-house is because, as you know, social media has identified 5 or 6 trade targets, but the end of May is really, really difficult to make trades.
You almost never see it, and there is conversation. It has been mentioned by people on different teams across the industry that there's probably more trade talk earlier this year than there typically has been in Major League Baseball. Possibly a reflection of the fact that everyone's contending, particularly in the American League, which is part of the reason why it's difficult to be able to pluck from other teams in order to upgrade. The Red Sox and the Astros for a while looked like they looked like the perfect match, with Duran for Paredes being kind of a hand-in-glove fit for both teams. But now, with the injuries to Roman Anthony as well as Carlos Correa, that seems like it's not really a front-burner thing. And I don't know that it was going to be anyway at this stage of the season. I think the Red Sox front office sees what everyone sees, which is that they have been struggling for runs. I think that they believe that they've underperformed who they are to some degree, but they can't just sit back and wait on there to be a reversal. So they would love to explore the market. But as to your point, Lou, trades typically don't get done at this time of year. Teams are still waiting to decide if they're contenders or not, and they want to get, the only way they do deals at this time of year is if they get a king's ransom. That's why you usually only see deals happening at the trade deadline that work for everyone.
Let's talk a little bit more about Roman Anthony as Contreras gets in. Base hit his first time up to pick up his 28th run batted in. He'll be followed by Monasterio in a moment. There's that lingering feeling that, man, it took way longer. And then he goes to swing and he gets shut down immediately. And I know Roman was not performing the way he anticipated, the way the Red Sox thought he would coming off the WBC. We all saw his struggles offensively, but we all know the upside.
Well, and the struggles offensively, quote unquote, he's performing at a, the on base percentage is above league average. So you slot him into the leadoff spot. He's still doing something that is that helps the team overall, right? Like the power hadn't been there in the way that anyone had expected, particularly Roman Anthony, but there are still attributes that are very valuable for the Red Sox there. But yes, of course, the Red Sox want to see more from Roman Anthony. Roman Anthony wants to see more from Roman Anthony, and he's injured. And when you first saw that weird swing on which he was injured, you thought, oh, that looks like it might be a bit. So I feel like that only changed because in the first couple of days they were like, oh, maybe not so bad.
Right.
That seemed almost surprising that it was going to be a kind of quicker return. Then it's okay. The Red Sox say they'll put him on the injured list because they don't want to be shorthanded for a couple of days when he does get healthy, but should be back as soon as he's eligible. And then it lingers on a little bit longer. And hands and wrists are tough.
Yeah.
They linger a lot, and what goes on inside of that area is so important, right? Like bat speed, bat control, everything derives from having healthy hands, healthy wrists. It's really so. The Red Sox have basically said, Chad Tracy basically said, we can't have him trying to get back on the field while his hands hurt. You can't hit when your hands hurt.
Oh.
Nice play by Pasquantino right in front of his own dugout to put away Monasterio and 2 down.
Which is why I don't really think you have an idea of when he'll return until he starts to at least start hitting.
Right.
And feeling comfortable. Like from day one, it was, it might be 10 days. I'm like, you won't know anything until he puts a bat in his hand and he hits velocity.
Right.
And how does that hand react, or whatever's bothering him react to that? So we're not there yet.
It was a major step for the cortisone shot to get him to a point where he was pain-free when not swinging the bat. But you're absolutely right, Lou. The thing that you're basing that return on is whether or not he feels good letting it go as a hitter, and he's not there yet. He's even in a controlled setting like the batting cage.
And getting shutting him down after the cortisone shot.
Right.
Was so troubling. Swung on and missed by Sogard. He's 0 for 1 with a ground ball to short.
Yeah, that represented a setback that they weren't anticipating, and obviously not one that they were hoping for. So even pushing back the whole progression 4 days, 5 days, whatever it ends up being when they next get him hitting, that matters.
0-2 downstairs on Nick Sogard with Narvaez on deck. So we shall see and wait on Roman and see what in the end happens with Trevor Story, and that's going to affect Marcelo Meyer where he plays.
And also affect how the Red Sox approach the question of the trade market,
Yeah.
right? Because if you're shorthanded, you start thinking, once you do have a handle on how long guys are going to be gone for, then you start having to think about how to supplement the club.
Little ground ball right back to the hill, and that's a fast inning. Red Sox go in order. Hey, stay longer next time, will you?
Sounds great.
Alex, always great to see you, man.
Back
Yeah,
at
Alex.
you.
We look forward to the rest of the summer with you. 2-1, Red Sox in front. Kansas City. It'll be the top of the order here for the Royals.
Tomorrow at 6:30, you want to miss first pitch, presented by Rodenizer Home Services. TC Lenny. They're going to preview the matchup between Conley Early and Michael Walker, only on NESN, streaming on NESN 360.
Red Sox 2, Royals 1. Garcia leading things off. And we'll fly that one to left on a charge. Here's Duran. He's already made a really nice play tonight out there. 1 pitch and 1 out.
The Ranger kind of settling in a little bit more with location. More on that Roman injury. He's a young guy. And I think the first time you really get hurt, last year he did it with the side. This year with the hands. The hands is a scary thing for a hitter. I was in Double-A. I got hit by a pitch and broke a wrist, like ulnar styloid, a bone in the wrist. Coming back, it was difficult because they're like, okay, you're feeling good, and then you start swinging, you're like, You know, it hurts a little bit. I feel a little bit. And as you kind of go through some injuries in your career, you always look to the doctor and say, okay, what's normal pain? What's bad pain? Because there's going to be some discomfort. There's going to be something when you come back from an injury. What is it that's normal that I can kind of work through that's going to go away? And what is it that is sort of like, hey, shut this down kind of pain? And I think that's discussions. I don't know what he's going through right now. He'll pick it up on Friday, and hopefully on Friday he gets in there and swings that bat and feels better. Then you'll have an idea how far away he really is.
All new to him.
It's all new. That's, you know, a young kid like hurts his knee, doesn't really know what he's dealing with. The first time you get injured, you don't really know what you're dealing with at all.
In play, Sogard gets it over there in time to retire with.
I remember the first time I had surgery. You know, you always try to get range of motion back, and then you got to go strengthening. And when you have surgery, you sort of feel like I'm never going to be the same. Like this is never going to work the right way again, and it does. You know, so it's like sort of prepares you for further injuries and surgeries that may be coming in your careers. But the wrist is a very scary thing for a hitter.
Salvador Perez with a walk in the first inning. Bases empty, 2 down. Red Sox up a run in the third.
I remember when Nomar first hurt his wrist. He had that sheath problem, and he came back, and he hit a couple balls to the track, and it got in his head. So, you know, if I was healthy, when I was healthy, that ball's gone.
Sure.
And I'm like, it's okay. It just didn't carry you all right. But it started playing games with him, questioning some things. And when you do that, you try to give it a little bit extra, and maybe your swing's not right. It's just there's a lot of doubt in there that you have to get through, and it's hard when you're young in this game.
Ranger home with a 2-1. Been kind of a tough start for Salvador, even though he has the 7 home runs, just a .244 on base percentage. Two and a full count. Ranger got him 1-2-3 last inning after, for him, a very rough first. He threw a lot of pitches. This will be number 53. And he lets that one go, and that's going to be ball 4, so he walks him again. Been really careful with Salvador Perez.
A little stare down, having some fun with one another. Former teammates, WBC. Same with Wilson. I mean, Venezuela dominated that in the WBC.
Yeah, they did.
Narvaez didn't play for them, but you got Wilyer Abreu and Salvi. The Red Sox were well represented.
Thomas was credited with a double on a bloop to right field that chased in a run in the first, the one they got when Witt Jr. came in to score. Royals 2 hits, Red Sox with 4. And a pop-up along the right field line. Abreu cruising over. Wilyer has room in fair ground. He's got it. 1 man left. Red Sox trying to take the first 2 here in Kansas City. They're up 2-1 to the 4th inning. Bottom 3, Narvaez, Kiner-Falefa, and Durbin. Connolly early on the bump tomorrow night at 7:40 against Michael Wacha, former Red Sox. He's 4-2 with a .283 earned run average. Narvaez scoring a run, the go-ahead run in the 2nd inning after a walk and a couple of hits. Durbin drove him in with a single. Avila coming out of the bullpen into his 2nd frame, and he'll miss, and it is 1-2.
He's coming in here showing a really good slider. When he is showing his fastball at 96.7 range, but this slider's been giving some guys some trouble.
That's going to be in there for strike 3. Fastball puts away Narvaez, and 1 man gone.
That's a good pitch down and away. It looked like Narvaez had thoughts. Good decision. because that was a really good pitch. I got a lot of the plate.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at short tonight, 1 for 1. Good velocity with this guy, 97, 98.
Yeah.
And a heavy fastball. And his 1-0.
IKF getting that start today against the lefty starter, knowing that probably going to be one at bat, one time through, and then after that it'll be some righties. Later in the game, see where this game heads. You probably see Meyer in there at some point. You can see Mickey Yoshida in here at some point, pinch hitting.
Mickey Gasper's got to get in the game.
He just keeps getting hits.
All he's doing is getting hits. 2 more last night. 2-1 chop foul.
He's got a beautiful one last night. That ball he hit past Quintino right through the wickets.
Yes.
Throw a knock up. They didn't change that yet, did they?
Not yet.
Keep that thing a hit. See, as a hitter, it's one of those, like, when you don't score a run, it doesn't affect the pitcher, they'll probably leave it. If a run was scored that inning, they may change it because it's an earned run. He may be safe.
They might go a month before they change it. 2-2 off the mitt all the way to the backstop. I am constantly amazed, and I'm glad Mickey got a hit on that, but constantly amazed at what is called a hit today. It's remarkable.
Giving him out.
3-2 from the righty. And a breaking ball inside. Kiner-Falefa on for the second time. Red Sox have been very patient tonight. They've walked 4 times.
That's good to see. Next Tuesday begins Monster Week on NESN. You can enjoy Monster-themed content all week long and special Monster coverage throughout the Red Sox Braves series. Catch all the action starting next Tuesday at 5:30 only on NESN, streaming on NESN 360. Be up on the Monster.
That's right.
Loved that last year.
A lot of fun.
Little Uncle Kev will be in town.
Kevin Millar always loves to join us for at least one of the games up in the Monster seats, and the eating's good up there too. Chef Ron's going to join us up there.
We'll hook it up. That was really cool last year, though, just seeing the game from that view. So used to where we always sit. Such a great view from up there in the seats.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you see a home run go over your head in there for a strike, it's an added appreciation of how strong a hitter can be when it goes sailing on the Lansdowne. Nobody in the lineup needed a hit more than Caleb Durbin did to drive in a run in the second inning. He's 1 for 1.
Yeah, a big part of his game is just kind of the path to the baseball, kind of staying the middle of the field, which is what he did his first at bat. Being on time.
3-2.
That's part of it. When you're real quick, you're not going to be able to stay on this little breaking ball. But he's able to keep that path, the whole everything up the middle of the field. Allowed him to stay on that curveball, hit it up the middle, get that RBI after having a couple of days off.
Well, he's got a base runner in Kiner-Falefa, 1 down. 3-2 from Avila. And a dive back by Kiner-Falefa.
I wonder if he gets something going here. You know, 1 out, man on first, righty on the mound. IKF can run low base, got 3 bags. Durbin, ground ball guy, but he's going to make some contact. We see him steal here.
Runner holding. And in there for strike 3. 2 down. That one froze him up, and Duran's next.
A little spinner, a breaking ball. More like the slider there from Avila. That end of curve. Froze him.
Well, Duran has worked a pair of walks tonight, has a stolen base, and he scored a run.
I like the 2 walks from him. Just seeing the baseball, swinging at strikes. And some wild hacks at times from him, right?
2 down. Off the end of the bat foul. Since the start of 2024, Jarren Duran second in the major leagues in doubles. 97. Number 1, Bobby Witt Jr. out there at short at 104. It's exactly the kind of offensive player he wants to be, but as you said before the game, so is everybody else.
Everybody like to be like Witt. That's just consistency. For Jarren, it's a lot of pull side ground balls. Almost 30% pull side ground balls, like the 6th highest rate in baseball. When you got that kind of speed, if anything, hit it to the other side of the field. Pull off a lot about pull happy.
Connor Falefa diving back in safe. Gray, overcast, and a lot cooler tonight than it was last night. Temperatures in the upper 50s by now. The 1-2 runner taken off. Here's the throw down, the tag, and he's out. Connor Falefa cut down Jensen with the peg. Let's see if the Red Sox want to challenge it.
Throws right on the money. Just catch and tag.
It's perfect.
Yep.
And that is out number 3.
Let's just throw. Just all you gotta do is catch it. Catch it and put it down. Beautiful throw.
Bottom 4, Ranger Suarez back at it. Gets a big swing and a miss from Caglione, who's 0 for 1. Second-year man who was a pitcher at the University of Florida. He also set the Gators single-season home run record with 35. Marte and then Pasquantino after him for KC.
And also one of the many from that 2024 draft. He was a 6th overall pick. First round. I feel like the 24th draft just a couple years ago. Just flooded.
Yes.
Impact guys.
Great talent.
Including your boy Tolley. That draft.
1-2. Can't put him away. All even on Caglione. Some of the names out of that draft class.
I mean, this is, you drafted in 24. You got 1 year of Pro Ball. You're seeing Connor Griffin up there now, and Savage and Tolley, some of the arms. Oof.
Dick Kurtz in there. That is going to be strike 3. Caglione will take a seat. 1 down in the 4th inning for the Royals. And we'll send up Starling Marte. Red Sox waiting for their ace, Garrett Crochet, to return to the rotation. But meanwhile, Red Sox are getting some serious pitching. Picked off by Durbin. And he's on target. 2 down. Let's toss it down to Jemai.
Thanks, Dave. Let's take a look at the All-State good hands play. Second straight start after being in the hot corner last night for Nick Sogard. He continues to do things to impress on a baseball diamond. Got probably one of the highest compliments you can receive in this game. Asked Trace about him and what he likes. He said he's a baseball player. You see that really nice play at third, showed that cat-like reflex. Trace said of all the guys he's had on the way to the bigs, he's had Sogard more than anyone, parts of 5 seasons with him. He loves that he gives them options, the versatility. Seeing him play second tonight, Trace said he's earned this and is a natural fit.
They know each other really well. A lot of trust there. Pasquantino will take a ball. He struck out looking first trip.
We always say about Sogard. It's funny. A couple years ago, I remember asking about it and seen him play, and they're like, he's a guy. The more you watch him, the more you're gonna like him. And it couldn't be more the truth. Like, it's just, he just knows how to play the game.
Liner pulled that one down the right field line, but foul.
A lot of times in the game now, these young kids come up through the system. They come up so quick. When they come up, they know how to play the game. They got to learn the game up here. And this is sort of old school. This kid knows how to play the game. He came up through the minors, so when he comes up, he knows where to be. He knows the situation offensively, puts bunts down, makes contact.
I mean, that was a spectacular catch last night.
Yeah.
My opinion, that was going to be a double. And in a game that close and so hard fought, doubly important. 2-2. He'll leave that one downstairs and a full count on Pasquantino. Nick Lofton on deck. Should it get that far? Suarez trying to make it a 1-2-3. Just got the bat on it. Barely.
Range been on point here since that first, right? The first 3 or 4 hitters just missing with some location. Everything was just off the plate, just in, just down. Now a little more dialed in.
And he's going to throw that one downstairs for ball 4. Barely missed. Pasquantino is on. It'll be his 3rd walk tonight. Do not know exactly what's going on there.
That's the Pasquatch. Do it now for walks. He used to hit a home run. They used to do a little trot for him.
A little frightening. Lofton is 0 for 1. He is lined out to left. And we'll look at a strike.
Frightening. That's my captain there, Team Italy. WBC. The espresso machine. He had it all working.
3 walks, by the way, a season high for Ranger. How about the Philadelphia Phillies? They're now 16-4 under Don Mattingly. Turns out Dave Dombrowski didn't have to go very far to get the right man to manage his team.
For the team the last few years, they made some changes. Giardi right to Thompson, and they reacted because they have a lot of talent. Sometimes a veteran group sometimes needs a little push, needs a little wake up. When the way you're playing costs your manager a job, that sometimes does it.
It's doing it there.
There's a lot of talent. Your rotation's led by Sanchez and Wheeler.
Yeah.
Your offense is led by Schwarber and Harper.
Start there.
You know, I mean,
You should be pretty good.
Pretty good start. You're one of the best closers in the game.
2-2. Another full count. Set some of those tonight.
Yeah, a lot of them. Pitch count up to 74.
Three 2 to Lofton. And another, that's going to be in there for strike 3. Lofton frozen. He is caught looking. They're going to challenge it.
The batter challenges.
That was a long little delay. I guess verbally you can tell him. There you go.
It's a strike.
The pitch is a strike. Kansas City has 1 challenge remaining.
So he strikes out 2 in the inning, and it remains a 2-1 game. Powered by Salem 5 Bank. You think you lost a bet and got embarrassed. How about this guy?
It's fantastic. He was all by himself. I don't know what he's wearing, but
They told him you got to wear something bright, and that's the sign after losing that bet. Jaron Duran has walked 2 times, underway in the 5th inning.
yeah. Oh, NASA onesie. What do we got going on here? Just came off the parachute.
He's had to sit up there all by himself all game. Whatever he lost big.
They're not even allowing him to have a beverage. That's great.
Poor guy. They've showed him on the big board here.
It could be worse. I've seen a few of them. Could be worse. It's a good one.
Duran, Rafaela, Abreu. Red Sox hit 2-1 5th inning. And the 0-2 from Avila. Cracked into center field. Hit well. Thomas racing back. Still racing. That's over his head. That's up against the fence. Jaron touches second. He wants third. Here's the throw to third base. He dives. He's out. Kansas City on the relay. And no challenge.
Nice job by Thomas getting to this ball. Bobby Witt Jr. You know, this relay, this ball's hit hard. Obviously, dead center field. Thomas, nice job just getting back there and getting it in to Bobby Witt, who's got an absolute cannon. You know, Duran's turned these into triples his entire career. But Bobby Witt over at third base, at shortstop with that relay, that's a strong throw.
Double 8-6-5. And 1 down. Say down with a big cut. He's 0 for 2. Back to the relay.
He's going to catch this ball, just spin, let it rip, And it was enough to get him.
Hit a marvelous arm, two-time Gold Glover. He's going to win a truckload of those. Abreu on deck. Red Sox were looking for their second triple in 2 nights here. Masataka Yoshida had one in game 1.
I think Masa walked up to him in the dugout, patted him on the back, and said, maybe next time.
Maybe next time. I'll show you my tape.
Yeah. Want to go look at my triple underneath?
2, rattle foul.
I mean, you can always question, making that first out at third base, but this is, Duran has done this his whole career. He has pushed the envelope, singles into doubles, doubles into triples. That might have been one where just maybe you look out at that shortstop and say, this is a different arm. A guy like Carlos Correa, another guy, different arm. That's short.
1-2 downstairs.
Ellie De La Cruz. These types of guys.
He'll bounce that one to Witt Jr. Zips it over there. Round number 2. Wilyer Abreu looking for his second hit. Will climb in next. Single in the first inning. A fly out to left his next time up. And so far 2-2 on the trip. Red Sox have been a much better scoring team on the road than at Fenway. 4.4 runs a game, which is right around the league average on the road, as compared to about 2.5 at home, and they're for strike.
Which is strange. You're at Fenway Park. Like I said before, lefties don't really hit the ball the other way, and righties don't really hit the ball in the air. You're not taking advantage of it.
Abreu sitting on 6 home runs, 8-1.
This is what I mean. Abreu was a perfect example of it. A little bit of a rut. 0 for 9 before that single, but that was a little bit of a check swing single. They attack him when they're behind in the count like they just did. Fastballs away. He's hunting inner half all the time. When you get to Fenway Park, that can't be a free strike. It needs to be off the wall. A lot of the lefties are pitched that way at Fenway. 1-0, heater outer half. Take. 2-0, heater outer half. Take. First pitch. Make them pay for that.
2-2. Serves that one to first. Pasquantino with the underhand to Avila for the out. And the Red Sox, in the end, bring only 3 men to hit in the 5th.
Suarez's pitching arsenal presented by New England area Audi dealers here through 4. See that heavy sinker, those cutters. Gave up a couple soft hits and a cutter in the first. Hasn't really gone to it much since. Kind of what you expect, right? Sinker, 4-seam, curveball, changeup. Only 3 hard hit balls. 2 soft ones in the first. Got that run across.
Facing Carter Jensen, a top prospect. Rookie with 6 home runs. He'll be followed by Garcia and then Bobby Witt Jr. And it's Zach Kelly firing away in the bullpen. Pitch count high for this point in the game for Ranger. 78. And that's going to be a fair ball yanked down the right field line by Jensen. Abreu has to dig it out, and it's going to be an easy walk-in double for the leadoff man, Carter Jensen. And they have the tying run quickly into scoring position.
Yeah, a little curveball. Kind of left it in. He wanted this thing away. hit down the line. Contreras can't get to it. We've seen him get to a lot of balls down that line, but he's kind of playing off it here for Jensen, protecting another hole.
Michael Garcia is 0 for 2. All-Star and a Gold Glover at third base last year. Had a very nice year. Hit 16 home runs, 286, 800 OPS. He'll take that any day. And punches a base hit into right. Jensen racing into third. They put the brakes on him there. A high throw. Runner heading down to second. There's going to be a tag here. He slides by anyway, and he's out. Holding on to third, Jensen. Garcia getting real aggressive on the bases on a high toss from the outfield. Red Sox get an out of that.
Yeah, Sox get a break. Really over aggressive here. I mean, Abreu kind of really sails this throw. You weren't going to send him. It was a hesitation. So this throw is high, but it's able for Narvaez to be able to control this. Garcia, I just don't think he ran right away, and it was too late. Gave the Sox a free out. Well, that's going to do it.
Yeah, going to be a fast night for Ranger Suarez. He's gone in the 5th inning with one man away. It'll be Kelly coming in. We'll have more in a moment. Short one for Rangers. Pitching line presented by Ace Ticket. Ace Ticket with the best seats at the lowest prices. Giving up 4 hits. He walked 3 men. And kind of off from the get-go. He settled in for a couple of innings, but clearly wasn't the same.
No, he wasn't. Early on in that game, couldn't really find it. Did kind of find it the next couple of innings. But here, just mislocation. This level, they kind of make you pay at times. So 86, 81 pitches here. Asking Zach Kelly to try to clean this thing up. It's going to bring the infield in for a very dangerous Bobby Witt,
who is 1 for 2 tonight. Started the night hitting .302 with 7 home runs. Red Sox ahead 2-1. Bobby Witt Jr., the only player in Major League history with at least 20 homers and 30 stolen bases in each of his first 4 years in the big league. Looking at a strike. 25 years old. They signed him to a 14-year contract. Red Sox with the infield in. And one away, the 1-1. He'll fly this one into center field. Coming in, Cedon. Coming in, Abreu. He'll take it. The runner's going to hold as it's fired in. And they keep him right there at third. Jensen will not test Wilyer Abreu. And 2 down.
A little confusion there. Who's going to catch this ball? I think you feel pretty good no matter who it was. Just as long as the other guy got out of the way, right? To allow him to set up and make a good throw. Got him out in front of this big little cutter. Abreu's coming in. Cedon's coming in. Not going to challenge that throw. Opportunity to get out of this.
Salvador Perez, 2 walks tonight. Runner at third, 2 away. Let's see if the Red Sox give Salvador anything to hit in this at bat. In a 1-run game. Kelly. And fouled out of play, 1-1.
Four-seamer at 94. It's a little bit lower than we've seen. Usually around 96, 97, but he leads with the cutter and that sweeper. Probably the most swing and miss pitch he has is that sweeper. You got to get in there in this zone first, get ahead, then you can expand.
1-1 to Perez. Takes it in tight. Red Sox have scored 3 runs or less in 8 straight games. So the rotation has kept them in it. Ranger with an early departure tonight. Here's the 2-1. And sucked into left field, driving Duran back, still back, leaping up. And Duran able to make a fantastic play. Leaping up at the last second. It looked like it was right over his head.
Look at this catch.
That is a heck of a play.
Wow. Putting on a uniform and playing with Red Sox legends. Well, Red Sox Fantasy Camp presented by JetBlue is on sale now. Visit redsox.com/fantasy camp for more information. Reserve your spot in the big leagues today. Come on down.
You're going to be there.
Absolutely.
Well, that's worth the price of admission itself.
You have a blast.
John Schreiber out of the bullpen. Red Sox just got one of the best defensive plays of the season out of Jarren Duran and left. Up onto the warning track on a ball already over his head to rob Salvi Perez of extra base hits and an RBI.
Oh, beautiful catch. Get back there. He didn't have time to get to the wall. He had to kind of figure out when he would need it to jump to get this ball. Salvi put a charge in it. Great play.
Contreras is 1 for 2 as he pops it foul as an RBI tonight. So the Red Sox still leading at 2-1. Playing some defense again tonight. He made a diving catch earlier in the evening to rob a hit. So he's having a great night in the outfield. Liner on one soft hop. Lofton will cut it down and throw him out. Red Sox with their first out in the 6th inning.
Kind of quiet here since that second from this lineup. Duran hit that leadoff double, tried to stretch it, but other than that, so we get a little pinch hitter. Speaking of Masa,
here he is to hit from Monasterio. Masataka Yoshida stepping into the DH spot. He was in the thick of it last night, a triple. Also tossed out Michael Massey at home plate in the bottom of the 5th inning.
yeah, that was a beautiful throw. Yeah, listen, he hasn't played much out there. Be able to catch that ball, get a nice little rhythm, make an accurate throw to the plate. That was a big play. It was 0-0 game at the time.
So a bat for the first time tonight. With nobody aboard, 1 down, 6th inning. Red Sox leading at 2-1. And Schreiber's first one to him will be wide for ball 1. And a 1-0 drops in for strike, 1-1.
Schreiber came in last night through a scoreless inning. Give up a hit, couple of strikeouts, only 13 pitches going back to back.
He'll pop that one up, but it'll be out of play down the left field line.
He's throwing the ball a lot better. First 8 outings of the year, Schreiber had a 7.11 ERA. His last 12 appearances, 1.5. Couple good years in Boston.
He's ahead on Masa is the 1-2. And a fly ball off into right center field toward the gap. That's going to find a home out there. It's going to take a bounce up against the fence. Yoshida romps into second with a double. Masa enjoying life here at Kauffman Stadium. Time now for our play of the week. Presented by Defender.
Oh, it's Jarren Duran here tonight. A couple of really nice catches. This one here off Lofton. He comes in on the ball, makes a beautiful dive and play. And of course, last inning, a little hanging cutter. Salvi puts a charge in it, but beautiful athletic play. Big catch there to keep a run off the board, especially in this 1-run game.
Red Sox bidding for another. Sogard in. He's gone 0 for 2. Man, we'll look at strike 1. Man in scoring position with 1 away.
A couple nights in a row, you've seen Masa kind of driving the ball into gaps. Talk about that's been a missing piece, right? Hitting the ball in the gaps over outfielders' heads.
Narvaez on deck. Red Sox have lost 3 consecutive series. A win tonight, they take this one. Got a piece of that. 1-2. Red Sox 10-10 under interim manager Chad Tracy. And a 1-2 pitch from Schreiber. He strikes him out, 2 down.
Didn't see him very well there. Like that low spinner after that swing in. This one here, just trying to get a piece of it to try to buy himself another pitch.
Red Sox looking for a 2-out RBI from Narvaez, who's drawn a walk and scored and struck out looking. 2 gone. Masataka off the bag at second. That's by him. So this one into the hands of both bullpens. Although Bailey Falter, a reliever, started this one for Kansas City. Check swing strike. 1-2. Connolly early tomorrow at 7:40 against Michael Wacha. Thursday's the day off, and then the Red Sox are home against the Twins over the weekend. Second series against Minnesota.
Oh, Braves coming to town. I see Baldwin on the IL. We got Acuna back. I don't mind missing Drake Baldwin.
Not at all. Acuna, one of the handful of great players in the game at the very top of the charts. Hey, nice to see some sunshine. It's been a couple of days.
Nice shot.
Two down, 1-2, way outside, all the way to the backstop. Yoshida will easily advance into third on a wild one. And the Red Sox with their third run 90 feet from the plate.
He just forgot to let go of it. That's what it looked like. Way outside.
So to count 2-2 on Narvaez. They're going to knock one through here with 2 down. Swung on, and he just got a piece of it to hang in there. Tomorrow is supposed to be a nice day here with plenty of sunshine. Temperatures up in the upper 60s. Looks like we're heading that way. 2-2. By him for strike 3. The Red Sox get a man down to third, can't bring him in. And CVS is proud to be part of Red Sox Nation and all the communities we call home, delivering trusted care, everyday essentials, and support that goes beyond a prescription. You can learn more at CVS.com. Dave Lou and Jemai with you from Kansas City. Red Sox still on top, 2-1, bottom of the 6th inning. And they'll have 4, 5, and 6 up against Zach Kelly. Red Sox flashing some leather in this one again, particularly in the outfield. As Lane Thomas will lead it off. He's 1 for 2. And picks up his second hit here. That'll drop into left center. And a double in the first inning and a single to begin the 6th.
Looks like that might be it with Zach Semeniego out there in that bullpen. These lefties coming up.
So Tracy making a call to the pen. We will break as well. The leadoff man is aboard. 2-1. Red Sox have the lead. Deep threats presented by Aura.
Big 3-run home run. Vinny Pasquantino in the WBC Team Italy versus Mexico, and Jaron Duran, and of course the espresso machine. And you gotta go double kiss. You gotta go double kiss.
First 3 home run game in World Baseball Classic history.
The run that those guys went on, no one really saw that coming. Of course, Weissert's Italian.
course. Wish you could delete yourself from the internet? Try Aura today. Samaniego out of the bullpen, inheriting a runner at first, and Caglione has gone 0 for 2.
Tyler obviously off to a nice start. Just got touched up by Schwarber, right? In that Philly game before that, he was lights out, hadn't given up a run. Get back on it here.
Grounded foul, 0-2. Marte on deck. Bottom of the 6th. Another tight one. Thomas with the lead at first. And the lefty's 0-2. And in there, strike 3. 95 with the sinker to strike him out. Big K there for Samaniego.
That's what we've seen from him the whole time. You know, I mean, he just keeps attacking with strikes. You know, this is kind of maybe not the best 0-2 pitch, to be honest with you. I don't know if Caglione was maybe thinking something spinning soft, but okay, at least kept it outer half.
Marte will look at a ball. He's gone hitless tonight. A couple of ground outs, one to third, one to sure. He's going to challenge
Pitch
here.
is called a ball. The catch is challenging.
Will be Narvaez.
2 left here late in the game.
Pitch is a ball. Boston has 1 challenge remaining.
Not an area where the Red Sox have had a lot of success this year.
No, not a lot of success. At least the situation was okay.
Line drive and a base hit. Thomas on the move. He'll pull up as second throw comes in behind him. Second hit in the inning for Kansas City. A couple of base runners with 1 down.
Marte just hits a rocket back up the middle inner half. Yeah, that ball's hit hard.
105 off the bat.
Cedon sees that turn, gives it a shot.
Pasquantino with a strikeout looking and a walk. Bounds that one foul. Each team now has 6 hits.
Vinny back in that 7th spot with Suarez on the mound with the lefties. Struggling against lefties. We're hitting 120.
Thomas a base hit. He's at second. Marte a base hit. He's at first. Red Sox have not turned a double play tonight. One and 2.
Keep it out there. See that first sinker down and in kind of sets up that soft away.
This guy's been a big RBI man. Play at third. Here's the step in the throw and the tag. He's out. Thomas. A dead duck at third for out number 2.
Wow. He's just anticipating. Kind of thought he had him timed up. Thought he was about to deliver the baseball to try to get that big jump, but Samaniego holds it a little bit longer and then does a really, really nice job of not panicking, right? He doesn't have much time in the league. Here's his first year. Just calmly steps off, throws the ball to third.
And that's going to roll underneath Narvaez. That'll advance the runner from first to second, Marte.
One he'd like to have back. You know, you just got rid of that guy in scoring position, a 1-run game. Just took his eye off it. Now you get that guy back at second. That was really nice by Sam. No panic at all by Tyler. He just stepped off, delivered a good throw, by the way. Hit Durbin on a run.
Very calm. 2-2. Swinging a shot out to right center field. Moving over Abreu. He is there to make the catch. And the Red Sox get out of that with a little bit of help from the Kansas City running game. Is Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, advancing medicine with breakthroughs in research, nationally ranked special care and innovative treatments. You can learn more at bidmc.org. 7th inning. Red Sox have played some Outstanding defense tonight, and just got a little bit of help from Kansas City on the bases as they ran themselves out of a big inning potentially. And here comes Nick Mears out of their bullpen. He's throwing the ball quite well. Hot shot, base hit. Connor Falefa, his second hit. 2 for 2 of the walk tonight.
A couple of hits, getting on base 3 times in that 8-hole. You don't have to win 2-1. Doesn't say that in the rule book. You know, we get that magic number 3. Maybe go crazy and get 4. Maybe put a couple up right here, Obi.
It'll feel like 11.
1 for a hit here.
Durbin 1 for 2 with a single. And a ground ball at short. Witt to Lofton. 1 away and 2 as he holds the bag for the double play.
See, I would have loved to see a little bunt for a hit. I mean, Garcia's playing in. Who cares? Doesn't matter. We saw it last night. Sogard get rewarded for playing it. You know, Durbin 1 for 2 here in this game, right, with a big RBI. You put a little bunt hit down, you know what you get? You get handshakes. You got a positive game, right? Now you got a guy in scoring position for the top of the order, try to get it to 3-1. Leadoff knock gets erased.
Well, Duran is having an outstanding night. He has walked 2 times. Going to challenge here.
A ball. The catcher's challenging.
And the catcher Jensen with the challenge. He's also doubled, and he's thrown out at third, trying to make that a triple.
Strike. Kansas City has 1 challenge remaining.
So the count 0-1, and he's made 2 tremendous plays in the outfield. He also has a stolen base. That was in the first inning. Looked to hold up, and he did. Rafael on deck, 2 down. Slayton going in the pen. He's been so good for the Sox when healthy. One and 2. Two runs on 7 hits for Boston, 1 run on 6 hits and an error for the Royals.
A lot of people are commenting on the fact of how he interlocks his fingers. This is a golf grip. It's just that he's been doing this now for about 3 or 4 years. Not many hitters do it. That's how you would grip a golf club. Ironically, he doesn't grip a golf club that way.
In there, strike 3. That's all for the Sox. They bring 3 men up in the 7th inning and continue to lead it 2-1. Pricing call to the bullpen. So here comes Justin Slayton, who was terrific last night. And the Red Sox 3-1 victory. It'll be his 9th appearance. He's been golden.
Yeah, pretty good. Look at that, 7 innings, 8 games, no earned runs. That whip under 1, not allowing base runners. That good cutter. Get that 4-seamer up 97, 98, throwing that for strikes to go with the sweeper. He's tough.
They'll bring on a lefty off the bench in Michael Massey. 220 with 3 home runs. Red Sox up 1 in the last half of the 7th inning. And a 1-strike pitch. Little lefty Jensen on deck. One pop foul, back out of play.
I was curious to see how this thing would be stretched late. I mean, 7th inning, you're just sitting there saying, okay, well, it's Slayton, Whitlock, and Chapman, but Chapman's gone 3 of the last 4 days. Actually, 4 of the last 6. Thought maybe it'd be a Slayton Whitlock type game, 8th, 9th.
1-2, a wave and a miss to strike him out. Went with a cutter to get him. And 1 down.
You forgot how big of important this guy is. You know, whether it's last night coming in with a man on second or just kind of giving him a clean 7th. Just got to keep him healthy. It's been injuries where you've lost him last couple of years for a period of time that's really hurt you.
So big in that mix. Jensen 1 for 2 with a double.
Yeah, a little Mr. Curveball. I haven't seen you in a while.
Jensen led off the 5th inning with a double. He's going to ground here to Durbin. Will fire on. 2 fast outs in front of 14,047.
So I was talking about since last Tuesday. So, Chapman had Sunday off, but it was a couple before that. So that's 3 out of 4 days. Start looking around. See, Moran's good. Weissert's good. All right, push Chapman 4 out of 5.
Top of the order, Garcia, 1 for 3. Fouls that away.
That's where the communication comes into play, right? A veteran like Chapman, listen, if he's available, he's going to tell you. If he's not, he's going to tell you too. So if you walk into this game and he looks at you and says, I'm good to go, I feel good out here, I feel fine, then you're playing for it.
0-1. If you heat him up, you got to use him.
He doesn't look like he's having a day off. "14 pitches last night. Clean inning.
Having another great year. Last night moving into the top 10 all by himself in career saves, 378. He's converted 26 in a row. One-two to Garcia. In save opportunities in that span where he's converted 26 straight, Chapman has allowed no runs, 2 hits in 24 innings. It's a batting average that barely registers 0.26. It's silly.
It really is.
3-2 on Garcia. Bobby Witt Jr. waiting on deck. With 2 out. And the payoff pitch from Slayton. He struck him out. He zips through the 7th inning. 1-2-3, 2 Ks. Second base for the Royals, and Cesar Rafaela will lead things off against Mears in the 2nd inning. On the night, Cedar is 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts and a ground out to short.
It seemed like he hasn't really seen the ball kind of all night. Started with that first at bat and let right into that second one. That was a big at bat, the second one. Bases loaded. Remember that inning hit, the bases loaded, 1 out. Got 1 across, but that was it. Make it 2-1 at the time. Hoping for more.
Abreu on deck. And a 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Red Sox have had a couple of great plays in the outfield tonight. The shocker is Cedar has not been one of those plays. He is number 2 among Major League center fielders and outs above average. He'll sock that one for a base hit into left center field. That's into the gap, going to keep on rolling. That goes all the way to the track. He's into second and putting on the brakes as the throw comes back. So they were unable to cut that off, and Cedar winds up with a 2-base hit. Could be a huge hit here tonight.
This ball was hit hard through the infield. This is all about outfield positioning. Nobody was even near it. Look at Thomas in center field. He's over there in right center. Marte's kind of just playing straight up. Gets all the way to the wall. He does a nice job cutting it off, preventing him from getting a triple. Puts on the brakes. Leadoff double. Got to get this one across.
So Abreu in there 1 for 3 with a single in the 1st inning. Nobody out. Fly ball into left center field. Moving on over Marte. Lunging for that. Tagging up at second, Cedar, and he is into third, standing up. Well, you almost got that by Marte. Big outfield here.
Yeah, it was a nice swing by Willier. He's been kind of getting a little bit underneath balls, a lot of fly balls to left. This one here, he drives it, but a beautiful catch by Marte, but even better base running by Cedon. You're on second base with nobody out. Your priority is to get to third. And he's able enough to stay close enough to second to be able to tag on this, able to get that job done and get over there.
So at the very least, it does advance the runner and brings up Contreras.
He did a good job staying close enough. If that ball gets down, it goes to the wall, you're still going to be able to score. But you'd hate for him to kind of just guess that it's going to drop and not be able to tag. And now you got a guy at third for Wilson here with one out. Infield will probably be in.
Wilson 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the first. One-run game, infield tugged in for the Royals. Contreras with a handful of big hits lately, including last night a 2-run homer. And the Red Sox win. In for strike one. Obviously a giant run at third base this late in the game in the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Here with one out, he put the pressure on. He got some speed at third base. He's got already a predetermined call whether he's going to go on contact or not.
Mears home to 1-1. Fouled off.
Not sure he's going on contact. That foul ball, there was a little hesitation from Cedon. If you're going on contact on that swing, you would have seen him take 2 or 3 steps towards home plate. Kind of held up.
1-2, rattle foul. They'll do it again.
Yeah, but then on that one, he actually broke home.
Red Sox are 16-4. The last 20 games in which they have scored at least 3 runs. So that's become the magic mark, I guess you'd say. Rafaela leading from third. 1-2 to Wilson. And fouled away off him.
He's going on contact. He broke home on that swing. That's something as an infielder too. Kind of seeing that yourself, knowing you see Witt actually turn to Massey. Real simple. Contact. Be ready.
1-2 again from the righty. Bounced it up there and a stop by Jensen. Not a lot of room between the plate and the backstop here. Should anything get by, could be very interesting. Yoshida on deck. Let that go for ball 3.
Good take.
Another good at bat for Contreras. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat. Red Sox leading it 2-1. And Rake, nice play at third. The run is going to score. Here's the throw to first in time, but the Sox get it in despite an outstanding play by Garcia. Contact, 3-1.
Yeah, beautiful play by Garcia, but again, they were going on contact. They gave it away. Cedon, really nice inning base running, right? First off, to get to third base, to get a nice jump on that. So by the time Massey catches this ball, he looks up. He's got no shot at home. Beautiful at bat by Contreras, hitting the ball hard, contact. We've seen it before, the swing and miss in that situation, a very important run.
Driven in his 2nd run here tonight as Masataka Yoshida takes a strike.
Yeah, this is a nice play. You look up, and too late. Got to get one.
So the Red Sox lead it 3-1. Which is what they won by last night. Yoshida lashing it. That one fouls it away 0-2. Red Sox scoring for the first time since the second inning. They have out hit KC 8-6. And the 0-2 from Mears. Chop a foul.
They're coming through a lot for this team. Big hit in the first to get them on the board. Big one there. A couple of 2-run homers. Won the game Saturday. Won the game last night with it.
And 3's the number. Whitlock working in the pen, and the count 1-2 on Yoshida. Red Sox hoping to move to 9-8 in the month of May. And inside for a ball, 2-2. Cedar Rafaela with a leadoff double. Brought home with a contact play from third. And a wave and a miss for strike 3. The Red Sox get a big run. They're ahead 3-1 to the bottom of the 8th.
Join the Red Sox Foundation for its annual Monster Mash on the Green Monsters. The Red Sox take on the Yankees Saturday, June 27th. Enjoy complimentary food and beverage. Plus, you can mingle with Red Sox legends. Visit redsox.com/Monster Mash to purchase your tickets.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Whitlock is on. So you take on Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, and Lane Thomas. Tough part of the order here.
Witt's been throwing well. Retired 13 of the last 14 batters he has faced. Of course, this guy got a hit off him last night.
Witt a base hit in the first, 1 for 3.
He only needed 12 pitches. Scoreless inning, but Witt got a 1-out single off him.
Bobby Witt Jr., 2-time 30-30 man. He's only 25 years old. Fly that one off the end of the bat. Abreu in to put that away. And 1 down in the 8th for Kansas City. And now a word from Hyundai.
A car that sees what you can't, how it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Salvi tonight, couple of walks. He was also denied an extra base hit by Jaron Duran and left on a leaping play over his head. Stroked that to center field. Cedar will make the play. Initially broke to the left, but hauls that in. 2 down.
I think that ball was knuckling.
Yeah, as we say.
Yeah, you see there with that hand gesture. This ball's hit up the middle. Watch Cedon's first break. In, over. Wait a minute. Let me go back over here and get it.
Nobody aboard for Thomas, who has a couple of hits tonight, couple of singles. Well, this part of the Red Sox bullpen's been so tough in recent games. In for a strike, and quickly 0-2 on Thomas.
Chapman getting ready. 18-0 for a reason after leading after the 7th.
Swung on and missed. That is strike 3, and the Red Sox are 19-0 when leading after 8. Play the game presented by New England Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive.
Difference in the game right now. Little breaking ball. Caleb Durbin, his first at bat, drops this little curveball into center field, scoring Narvaez. That made it 2-1 at the time.
Red Sox have added another to lead 3-1. As we go to the 9th inning, this is Eli Morgan. They just promoted him from the minor leagues yesterday. And he will get Sogard to start the 9th. Nick tonight 0 for 3.
See those 10 innings pitched, 6 walks. That 4-seam fastball up there, 92 or so. Good changeup slider, 3-pitch guy.
Their fourth man out of the pen. And a bounding foul by Sogard. Narvaez next. Red Sox can win this series tonight. Work to be done. And a count 2-2. Jarren Duran right in the middle of it. Mainly his defense tonight. He's been on base 3 times. It's a shot out to left center field, down for a base hit. Sogard with a knock to be in the 9th inning.
Sitting that changeup, you saw one earlier rolled over, but stayed on that one, drove it the other way. It's okay to get another one.
Yes. To get to 4.
Yeah.
An embarrassment of riches, but Red Sox have done really well when they've gotten 3. Narvaez with a walk and a run. He's also struck out a couple of times. Red Sox with 9 hits this evening, 6 for Kansas City. Connolly early tomorrow at 7:40 against Michael Wacha in the last game here before a day off on Thursday. Red Sox will be getting back to Boston about 3:30 in the morning after tomorrow night's game. Won't chase that. 1-1.
It's gonna be one of those mornings where I just sort of get into my bed and might as well just stay awake and take my kid to the train in the morning for school.
Tempting, isn't it?
Be close to it.
1-1 on the way. 1-2. I made the really wise decision to have a tooth extracted on that day.
Well, that's something to look forward to. You get that going for you, which is nice.
What the heck was I thinking?
Yeah. It's a nice way to enjoy your off day.
Really look forward to it.
You know?
Yeah. That's the way it goes. Here comes the 1-2 from the righty. Check swing, foul ball. Red Sox open up the homestand against the Twins and again the Braves on Friday. 7:10 on Friday. And then Atlanta for the second time. 1-2 to Narvaez. Lets that one pass. 2-2. Well, this is what the Red Sox won last night's game by. 3-1. With Chapman closing it out. Sogard taking off, a swing and a pop-up. Massey going out on the back pedal. And back to first, Nick Sogard, 1 away.
Well, you certainly don't want to get greedy, right? You got to get W's. I'm sure one of these times Tracy would love to win, say, I don't know, 7-1, and be able to not have to call on that Slayton Whitlock Chapman combo to hold a 1-run lead, 2-run lead late. Can wear down a little bit.
Yeah, take a breath once in a while, throw over to first, and a dive back by Sogard, who had been taking off on the pop-up previously. He can run a bit. Big hole on the right side. They'll pull it instead through the left side for a single. And Sogard to second. Red Sox looking for more here in the 9th.
Big night from IKF. 3 for 3 with a walk. Gets out in front of this one. Just kind of finds that hole. Gets a couple guys in scoring position here. Gonna get a pinch hitter.
Gonna be Mickey Gasper, of course.
Find that hole. Gasper will come in for Durbin. You'd think that Meyer would find his way in this game as well. Maybe Sogard at third, Marcelo at second.
Mickey, 2 more hits last night. This continues to pick up hit after hit. He's hitting .333, singled in the 6th and the 7th last night. Scored a run as well. Turned out to be a very important run. Sweeney, the pitching coach, will depart. Red Sox with a couple of base runners.
Yeah, he's faced that minimum, but they only have, Lynch, a really good lefty for them out of that bullpen. Using them in this spot, that's really all they have. So it keeps Mickey from the left side, where it gives you, I think, more quality at bat.
Hitting lefty with 1 down and 2 aboard. Sogard at second, Connor Falefa at first with 1 out. And Morgan home with a 1-0 pitch. Will be popped up out of play. Giovanni Moran also thrown in the bullpen. This becomes a non-save situation. And a 1-1. Check. He did not offer. 2-1. Casper coming up from the minor leagues and making very good contact. Base hit into right. Sogard rounding. Caglione throwing home. Play at the plate. The tag. He's going to be out. Sogard cut down. So Gasper's base hit on this occasion cannot produce a run. There will be no challenge on the play at home plate.
This ball is hit hard. Gets to Caglione pretty quick. Sogard, decent jump over there. Epperson aggressive on this throw. It's just a perfect one-hop throw right to the plate and gets him. Trying to add that 4th run. It's a really nice throw right in the money.
Meyer will enter the game and run for Gasper at first, with Connor Falefa at third, and 2 down. And the top of the order, and Jaron Duran. He has been on base 3 times, 2 walks. He's also doubled. He was thrown out on a terrific relay on the throw by Bobby Witt Jr. at third base, trying to make that a triple in the 5th inning. He's made 2 wonderful plays in the outfield. And now looking for a big RBI in the 9th. Swinging a foul ball for strike 1.
That'd be a nice way to finish off a really nice night for Jaron at the plate and in the field. You mentioned it last year, out in left field, he just never really felt comfortable, never really looked comfortable. Where the things snowball on him a little bit out there, but this year he's been really good out in left field after just kind of getting his feet under him last year.
Pop that up over the netting behind home plate, and it's 0-2. Connor Falefa 90 feet away. Meyer the runner at first. Sox have had 3 hits here in the 9th. They have 11 in the game. Two strikes on Jaron. And Morgan home with the 0-2. Meyer taken off, and that's going to be outside. They'll give him the bag. So now it's 2nd and 3rd. And it will be a stolen base. Base hit could mean 2 here. And the righty's 1-2 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, right field deep. That's way back into the corner. She's sailing. She is gone. Home run, Jaron Duran. What a night for him. A 3-run shot here in Kansas City. He has been spectacular defensively, and tonight he makes it 6-1 with a blast in the ninth.
You really needed that, didn't you? I mean, just to kind of open the thing up, feel good about yourself, finish your night off. Fantastic out in the field. Big 3-run shot here to put this thing away late.
That Red Sox home run presented by your New England area Audi dealers. And that means that Aroldis Chapman can take a seat. Boy, he's had quite a night. Little pop to center field and a sliding effort there by Thomas. Can't make the play. That's going to fall in for Cedar Rafaela. Back to the home run swing by Duran.
I mean, he gets his pitch, right? Heater up and in. He's looking at it, wondering if it's going to stay fair or not. This kid had a good changeup, too, that he's shown some lefties, but he tries to sneak this fastball up and in. Duran usually waits for that pitch.
And deep into the night to put the Red Sox ahead 6-1. Had a chance to wear Wally. Homer number 5 for Duran. Cedar reaching on a pop to center for a base hit. His second hit tonight. Willier would love to join him in that category as a single this evening. 0-2.
Good changeup. I'm surprised he really didn't try to see if he can get Duran to go after that down and away. Instead, he challenges him heater in. It's usually good business for a pitcher in that area.
0-2, a little loop shot into left center field. That'll drop. Base hit. Rafaela into second. Red Sox piling up the hits here in the ninth inning.
Yeah, that's what you kind of needed too, especially for these last two guys. And that wasn't starting off great for Cedar. And he gets that double his last at bat, and then gets one to drop. And Abreu kind of off the end of the bat. The other one was a check swing, but he was a little struggling coming in for 2 or 3 days. And that second hit just changes everything, the way you leave the ballpark, right?
Red Sox with a bunch of guys with a multi-hit night. Contreras with an opportunity to do that right now. 1 for 4. Line drive into left, down for a base hit. That's knocked around by Marte. Cedar will score. 7-1 Boston. Been waiting on that 7 for a while. Red Sox putting this game on ice in the ninth.
A big ninth inning here and make everybody feel good about it. And this is part of it too, right? Tracy was talking about, getting leads in that 6th, 7th inning. You see a different bullpen, right? And that's one you can get healthy on, rather than always being chasing and facing elite 7th, 8th, 9th. You know what the Red Sox roll out there in 7, 8, 9. It's not easy to get a bunch of hits. But if you can get that lead going into the 6th, you face the guys in the pen you want.
2 aboard for Masataka, who has a double tonight. And he is going to be denied a hit there by Massey, who will zip it on to first base to retire the side. The Red Sox score 4 times. Jarren Duran, big night, 3-run homer, 7-1. Time now for our game summary presented by Sullivan Tire. Pleasure to do this official tire and auto service of the Red Sox. Red Sox with 7 runs and 15 hits. Jarren Duran, power, speed, great defense tonight. Ranger Suarez didn't have it by his standards tonight, only 4 1/3, so the offense eventually picks him up.
Yeah, big night. And we know what this team is like, when you don't get 6+ innings from your starter. You're 4 and 26. Well, you didn't get it tonight.
And you're up by 6 in the bottom of the ninth. Fouled away by Caglione, who has gone 0 for 3. Red Sox with a couple of defensive changes. Marcelo remains in the game to play second. Sogard is now at third. And Moran home with the 0-1.
That's big, too, to keep Chapman off. Now, he did get loose. I don't know how that affects tomorrow, but you get the W in the book if you can here, but obviously. But Slayton back-to-back, Whitlock back-to-back. Don't worry about tomorrow.
Right. Red Sox on the verge of winning the series after losing 3 in a row. Jarren Duran with a star turn tonight in left field. 0-2. That's strike 3. Caught him looking. Caglione fans for the 3rd time in the game. 1 away in the 9th.
3rd time looking. Remember, you got Conley early going tomorrow. There's a nice location here. A little change up away. Remember his last outing, 5 innings, 86 pitches. He tried to talk himself back into the 6th. Well, part of that was the fact that he's going on this last day, 4 days rest.
Yeah, talking about Connolly.
Yeah, so you took him out, maybe an inning early in that last outing against Atlanta where he was pretty good, to try to have a little extra in the tank tomorrow.
Marte, the batter, inside a ball. And you love the kid's competitive desire. He wanted very much to stay, and he was upset.
Yeah. Young guys like he and Tolley coming back on 4 days rest is
new.
Something they've done a lot of.
Yeah. 1-1 downstairs.
Keep that in mind.
Seven runs on 15 hits for the Sox tonight. 1 run on 6 hits for Kansas City. Red Sox have played errorless baseball. 2-2. Chad Tracy would go to 11-10 with a victory. Punch foul. Red Sox would also go to 9-8 in the month of May.
Lock up this series too. Of course, tomorrow you can try to get greedy.
One down, 2-2 on Marte. And full count. Game started with Ranger Suarez off his game. They had 3 base runners in the 1st inning. Then he settled down for a bit. And he started to give up a couple of hits. He was lifted after 4 1/3. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Back-to-back Ks for the left-hander. And 1 more to get.
That was the big blow that really put this game away. Jarren Duran takes that 2-strike heater. I don't think he got all this ball. Would have went a lot further. He just got out in front of it. Wonder if it's going to stay fair. It does. Gets over to the corner of that. Put this game away. Got Moran in this game.
And a strike on Pasquantino is 0 for 2 with a walk. Nobody on base, bottom of the 9th, and 2 down. In front of 14,047, Red Sox 1 out away from taking the first 2 of the series. And 2 strikes.
You're talking about Ranger not really having it, and you're right. And kind of like the first 2 games where he didn't have it. The difference is he gave up 4 runs in those 4 innings in his first 2 starts, right? This one, still limit the damage, only 1 run, kept his team in it. Bullpen's done a really nice job.
0-2. He's become so dependable, so reliable. Talking about Ranger Suarez over the last several years of his major league career. Certainly with the Red Sox this year, came in with a 2.44 ERA. Sonny Gray was outstanding last night. So he went to 5-1. And Connolly early goes in with a 3.21 ERA against Michael Wacha tomorrow. Hope you'll join us for that one here in Nesson, 7:40. A little extra protection there.
Oh, helmet, huh?
Yeah. 1-2.
Looks tall. He's a little small, maybe.
No flap either.
No, it's old school. Base coach helmet.
And Moran's 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss to end the ball game. Red Sox win this one going away. 15 hits pounded out by the Sox in a 7-1 win.
Well, you needed this one, right? A lot of guys up and down this lineup with multiple hits. Big day from Duran with 3-run homer. Also Wilson, 3 more RBIs from Contreras. Kind of Falefa, 3 hits. So up and down offensively, guys feeling pretty good about it. Nice victory here tomorrow. You already won the series, but you got to go for the sweep. You go game to game here, and hopefully Conley Early can give you a shot at it.
7:40 tomorrow night. That Red Sox win presented by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. 7-1 the final, and stay tuned for WB Mason Extra Innings Live. TC and Lenny break it all down to big plays in tonight's win. There were a lot of them. Plus, Jemai will chat with Jaron Duran, the man of the hour. That and more coming up after the break.